New video surveillance technology is being rolled out on the 1st of June to help Australian businesses maintain social distancing in the workplace, and it's powered by artificial intelligence. To explain more, we have our Sunday morning tech expert, Djuro Sen. Djuro, we did see your package just earlier. Good morning to you. Obviously, this type of surveillance technology flags some serious privacy concerns. Should workers be worried at all?
Good morning, Janie. Yes, in that story you would have seen how very quickly it could target people and find out how far apart they were, and it's invaluable during this battle against COVID-19. But I think there are serious privacy concerns, but that really is up to the workers and the workplace to sort that out. Now, Motorola Solutions haven't said who's actually going to implement this, but I know that there will be campuses like for educational purposes, businesses like warehouses, other offices as well that will be using it. So many of these places have security cameras already. Now, the question is, how much detail will they keep? And what happens with these, because I've been to several of these global critical communications expos, and what they do is the AI is so smart that no human actually watches all this stuff. The computer takes it all in, works it all out, if people are maintaining their distance, if they're wearing a mask or not, and then it flags it later on. So they're only keeping the information that flags if there's something going wrong.
It is fascinating technology, isn't it? We're just seeing a little bit of it on screen now. And as you mentioned, the contact tracing and COVID-19 mass detection capabilities without the need of a phone app.
Yeah, that's the big deal, Janie. They use, your pass sensors that you get to go through your front door of your office or whatever as well. But the fact that is they're just using you and what you look like and the movement during the day without any sort of wearable is absolutely fascinating. Now, this only really works in a workplace because you do sign up to do certain things at a workplace. If you did this out in public, that's a whole new ball game because that means those cameras are identifying you personally. So early days yet, but this is amazing technology. It's incredible. And this surveillance is going to help us in the end. And I think it's a matter of us getting used to it if we want to combat COVID-19.
It certainly is incredible, isn't it? Samsung's new outdoor TV, Djuro, could help with social distancing.
Yes, well, we know that we can only have a limited amount of people inside, but Australia loves entertaining outdoors. And Samsung just quietly announced this the other day. It's their outdoor TV. It's called the Terrace. Now, it's got a waterproof or water resistance rating and handles really bright sunlight. So many of Australians, and although it's announced overseas, there is a strong chance it will be coming to Australia, hopefully later in the year for our summer. But a lot of indoor, outdoor places, it's absolutely perfect. And although it can sustain the weather, the big issue I have is stopping people from stealing it. So you've got to make sure it's nailed down. But I think how good will it be watching the cricket in summer outside and you just leave the TV there, and you can have other speakers too, which are IP55. So that's sort of splash proof, not really waterproof. So don't throw it in your pool.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, you can watch yourself on Sky News here. You can shoot it from outside, Djuro.
Yes.
And you have some advice about HDMI.
I'd love to.
There's no escaping, Djuro. Talk us about the cables.
Oh, yeah, so everyone would know HDMI cables, and if you're like me, you've literally got hundreds of them lying around the place. And I wanted to mention, if you had your outdoor TV, you'd have to run a long cable. Well, HDMI cables are typically really expensive, and once you start getting over 5 to 10 metres, they need some extra smarts on board to make sure they carry the signal with any sort of integrity. But I want to say you don't need to spend a couple of $100, which you can spend on these types of cables. And I've got a series here from Blazer, who are a great Australian company, but they have catered for a variation in the markets. So I wanted to mention that you can get your typical high-speed cable that'll get you started with 4K Ultra HD, but you really got to look at spending your money a little bit more, around 50, 60 bucks for cables like this. And these are the ones that handle the 8K video that's coming, also the Spec 2.1, which means if your kids are in the gaming, that's the one you want that can handle 48 gigabits per second, because if you buy those now, you are right for years to come. If you buy the cheap ones now, and I mean about $30, you're really sort of throwing your money away. Try and get for that, medium area, about $40, $50, and you'll be sorted. So, yeah, please don't be like me. I've got so many cables that are useless now because they only work with 1080p TVs.
All right. Well, thank you very much, as always, for your expertise. TV quality background, Djuro Sen. See you next Sunday.